Welcome back to the Bible Investigation Bureau, where no detail is overlooked and every long-held belief is put to the test. Together, we dig deep to uncover what's really true. Let's dive into Episode 3. In which of the two Cohen courses did Gabriel meet with Zechariah? Although Luke does not overtly state which of the two Cohen, priestly courses Zechariah was officiating in, when Gabriel the messenger appeared to him, we can know with certainty. Although there were two Cohen courses each year, only the first course is discussed overtly. Had the angel Gabriel appeared to Zechariah in the second course, Luke would have stated that it wasn't the first course, but the second. Yet, it appears that 6 months later the angel Gabriel did appear in the second course, but this time it was to Mary that he spoke. This meeting was time-stamped by Elizabeth's being 6 months pregnant, which correlated perfectly with the second Cohen course. But the most significant evidence of all comes by utilizing the timing of Zechariah's first course. For it is the only option that allows the Messiah's birth, which transpired exactly 6 months after John the Baptist's birth, to occur during the warmer months. For the Messiah's birthday had to synchronize with the following events. The shepherds were watching their sheep in the fields by night during the warm time of the year, between spring and fall. The weather had to be warm so families with small children could travel to the cities of their birth to pay taxes and complete the required census, a period from spring to fall. If the second Cohen course were utilized instead, it would place the Messiah's birth in the winter between February and March. Because of the cold and winter conditions, this would have been a very difficult time for traveling with children, and a time that the shepherds are never with their sheep in the fields at night. So from these three factors alone, we have to place Gabriel's visit with Zechariah during the first Kohanim course in the spring. As we have established, Zechariah's first course each year was the 4th week of the second lunar month, around May, called Abiyah, and his second course was the 4th week of the 8th lunar month, end of November, also on Abiyah, as shown in the chart above. Strikingly, the storyline in Luke illustrates that Elizabeth conceived and became pregnant with Yahuchanan, John the Baptist, the day following the first course of Abiyah. Then, 6 months later, Mary conceived on the last day of the 8th lunar month, the day following the second course of Abiyah. This sequence of events forever tied together both the Messiah and his prophet to the first and second course of Abiyah. This fulfilled the prophecy from ancient times that a prophet, messenger, was appointed to come in advance of our Messiah and prepare his way. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Yahweh whom you seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom you delight in. Behold, he shall come, said Yahweh of hosts. Malachi 3:1. The voice of him that cries in the wilderness, prepare you the way of Yahweh, make straight in the desert a highway for our Elohim. Yeshaya, Isaiah 43. For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare you the way of Yahweh, make his path straight. Matthew 3:3. And thou, child, shalt be called the prophet of the highest, for thou shalt go before the face of Yahweh to prepare his ways. Or 176. The chart above shows that the approximated quarter lunar phases represented each of the 24 Cohen weekly courses. These 48 weeks of Kohanim or priestly course divisions were not a coincidence, as every event and action taken in the temple pointed to the Messiah, the marvelous promised Lamb, who was to lay down his life to save humankind. Note, no salvaged record provides the details for how the Cohen weekly courses were handled for the 13-month years, also known as embolismic years, that contained 52 weeks. These occur every 2 or 3 years. 7 times in 19 years, a 13-month year occurs. Its purpose was to bring the astro-luni-solar year back into harmony with the solar years, and was accomplished solely by the moon, with no human interference. Nevertheless, all of the scriptural Hebrew regular years contain 12 months with 48 weeks. One can only conjecture how the 13 months would have been handled by the Kohanim divisions in the temple upon their occasional occurrence, as we have no current record of how they scheduled the Kohanim for that intermittent 13th month. It is this evidence put forth by the 24 Cohen courses, cycling 2 times for a period of 48 weeks, and placed in the setting of 12 lunar months, which identifies the Messiah's birthday was calculated among 12-month years, that did not include the 13th month that occurs 7 times in 19 years. According to 2 Chronicles 23 verse 8, the changing of the Kohanim guard with respect to the temple course divisions occurred on the 7th-day Sabbath, after sunset when the Sabbath hours were past. This would have made the first course division of every month 8 or even 9 days in length, depending on whether the previous month was 29 or 30 days long. In this way, the Cohen course divisions were harmonized with the lunar count of the 7-day week and the sacred lunar 7th-day Sabbaths. The new moon day stands alone as a preeminent sacred day. It is neither a work day nor a 7th-day Sabbath. It is followed by the first 6 days of the lunar month and the first Sabbath. The 30th day of the month is a standalone day because it is not part of any weekly cycle, and neither is it a sacred day, but a day for whatever one desires. According to the evidence presented in 1 Chronicles chapter 24 verses 7 to 18, the foundation for the birthday of our Messiah was laid 847 years earlier, at the time of King David, and even from the foundation of the earth. But still deeper, these Cohen course divisions were entirely based upon the principles set forth at creation, reflecting that our Creator's calendar remained astro-luni-solar, and was never ordained to change unto infinity and beyond. But when the fullness of time had come, Yahweh Elohim sent forth his Son, born of a woman, abiding under the provision of the Torah law, to redeem only those who are abiding under the provision of the Torah law, that they might receive the adoption as sons and daughters. Galatians chapter 4 verses 4 to 5. It is remarkable to note in Galatians chapter 4 verses 4 to 5, who it is that shall be redeemed and receive eternal life on that last great day. It is the Torah law keepers. The fullness of time can mean 2 things simultaneously. First, the arrival of the prophetically chosen day, or second, it can also mean the fullness of calendar days, which refers to the full moon as the new moon day of the lunar month. At that time, months were measured from one full new moon to another, and a lunar phase represented each calendar day. The term fullness of calendar days identified the fullest lunar phase, marking that day as day 1 of the lunar month. Note: this article is not intended to provide evidence that the full moon was the original new moon. So Luke and 1 Chronicles can pinpoint the exact month, week, and day of our Messiah's birth almost like a GPS, you know? Yet for over 1,000 years the world has unanimously declared December 25th of the Roman Gregorian calendar as the traditional birth date of our Messiah. How can this be in light of the evidence? It's puzzling, really. How is it that scholars and theologians missed the keys that reveal the truth, which has been there all along? Might there have been a proactive motivation on the part of the first-century rabbinical Pharisee Yahudim, or Jews, to cover up the facts of our Messiah's actual birthday? And for different reasons, might the 4th century Roman Emperor Constantine have been motivated to intentionally substitute the long-established Saturnalia or Christmas in its place, to provide continuity to their new pagan solar calendar model? Could it be that both actions were accomplished to provide a method to forget our Messiah's true prophetic birthday by hiding those clues that were designed to keep the true followers of Yahweh actively remembering? In brief, the 1st century rabbinical Pharisee Yahudim, or Jewish leaders, desired nothing more than to squelch any evidence in the Torah that identified the true Messiah had indeed already come. No doubt, for the sheer fact of their knowledge and guilt that they were responsible for requiring his death. Scene 2. Constantine's hatred. And 300 years later, at the Council of Nicaea, the Roman Emperor Constantine identified his hatred for all things Yahudim, or Jewish, by abolishing the Torah law, its full new renewed moon, lunar Sabbaths, and lunar-appointed feast days. Thus, in a short time, Yahweh's full new renewed moon and true astro-luni-solar time principles were altogether replaced by a Babylonian dark new moon or crescent by the rabbinical Pharisee Jews and Roman solar ideologies that removed the moon altogether for time measuring. This had a lasting impact on our Creator's years, months, weeks, and days. Each of these makes it nearly impossible for the Jew or Christian to discover the truth of the Messiah's birth to this day. Yes, our Messiah was born at the fullness of time in a manger in Bethlehem at the time Caesar Augustus required all to return to their hometowns for a census and taxation. We have been warned in advance by the prophet Daniel in chapter 7 verse 25, that times and laws would be altered. As a result, is it possible that our Messiah's birth date could be included in a colossal cover-up? Absolutely. At the very least, it should be considered. Those who feel a need that the Messiah's birthday must coincide with one of Scripture's 7 lunar-appointed feast days suggest that he was born on one of the following: 1. Passover, the 14th day counted from Rosh Hashanah in spring, the date of his crucifixion. 2. The Feast of Trumpets, the first day of the 7th lunar month, representing his second coming. 3. The Feast of Sukkot, the 15th day of the 7th lunar month, symbolizing the 1,000 years in joyous rapture in heaven. The only way our beloved Messiah at his first coming could have been born on the full new moon day of the 7th month, the designated day of his second coming, or any of the others, is if there was an alteration made by the lying pen of scribes to the Cohen course divisions as detailed above under the subheading 24 Prophetic Cohen Courses. 1 Chronicles 24, 1-19. This means he would have been conceived during the Cohen course of Yakim in the winter, and born on the 7th full new renewed moon of Messiahu. Yakim means established and Messiahu means from the heart or rescue of Yahweh. By now, it should be clear why this topic demanded a deep and careful investigation. For far too long, countless falsehoods have clouded the truth, shaking the very foundation of trust in our Savior. In Episode 4, join the Bible Investigation Bureau as we seek justice for all who have been deceived by these lies and uncover the truth that has been hidden for so long.